Hey guys, it's Nikki. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about posting on Facebook to attract coaches. So recruiting through your posting. And yes, I use the R word, and it is a fine word to use. I want everyone to get over that stigma that the word recruit or recruiting or trying to bring in coaches is a negative or an icky or a dirty type thing, because it isn't, okay? I know about myself personally, I'm pretty sure that all of you can sit there and say, my life has changed for the better because someone recruited me. I am thankful. I am so thankful that when I came into this world that my upline sponsor and her upline sponsor were like, you would be a fantastic coach. And this is why I think why. Because it has changed my life completely. It is a gift. It is a gift that is to be given. I want everyone to have that type of financial freedom and physical health that comes along with this, okay? So it is a gift that you're giving out, and now recruiting is not a negative or a dirty thing, right? It is actually the pinnacle of what you can give someone. Here is the freedom to live your life by design, to choose which hours you work, to choose when you want to show up to work, to choose what you want to wear to work, to be able to eat your lunch in your living room. That is a gift. I want to offer that to everyone that I meet because the way to get there is so easy and it's so noble. It's helping other people and living a healthy lifestyle yourself. That's incredible. The fact that we are paid to be healthy and to help others get healthy is such a gift. It's like hitting the gold mine of life goals for me. So when it comes down to talking about recruiting, let's talk about it how it should be talked about and celebrate it. It is the best thing that we could ever give to someone. So I just want to wipe that stigma off the board. The only one who thinks that it's weird or that there's some kind of ick surrounding it is us, okay? Everyone else out there feels fantastic when you say to them, hey, I think you would be a fantastic coach. You have amazing leadership skills. I watched the way that you led the group meeting and the group presentation. Have you ever thought about doing this? Who would get offended by that, right? How often are you told every single day that you would be really good at something? That someone thinks you would be really good at doing something that could eventually provide your family with financial freedom. Who's been told today? Anyone? No. It feels good when that happens, right? If someone comes up to you and just tells you, anything you're doing in life that they think you'd be good at it, that's a compliment. Go compliment people and offer them the opportunity of a lifetime that's sitting in your lap, right? So I want to talk a little bit about how we post about it. And I know a lot of people, it's like the last thing that they want to talk about or post about on social media. So when you talk about the opportunity, it's so important to always speak. It's called your timeline for a reason, okay? It's a story, all right? Your Facebook timeline is the timeline of your life. It should be showing development, right? Stories always develop. They don't just stay at chapter 1. There's 2 and 3. And you can see the growth that occurs. You need to share that growth, okay? Whether it's I started out at a size, 10, and oh my God, look, I'm in the store right now. I'm in a size 6. Or it's you're out at the movies on like a random like Friday night. You're like, I never went out on Friday nights because I just didn't feel like getting up and getting dressed. Like I was just too tired and worn down from my work week. But you know what? I'm like loaded with energy now because I'm healthy and I'm fit and I'm going out and I'm on the town. All of those things. Every post that you do, in fact, should have some reflection of where you were before Beachbody and how your life is better now on the other end of it. Okay, so if it's, I used to work in a dark, dank basement with no windows and the walls were all dirty and there were mice, and now I work in my living room in my yoga pants, whatever I want to wear. That is, people need to see, they need to see your beginning so they can relate and see their end, okay? Your before and after, they need to be able to see your before so they can see their after, okay? That's what they'll do. They'll project right? Because you're trying to reach the people who were in the place where they were unhappy, where you were unhappy, right? Because your audience and the people you're looking to recruit are you. So wherever you were, like me, I was in the basement by mice. Mice used to run by our desk. I want to speak directly to them. So just talking about working in my living room isn't going to work. I need to say first, I used to work in a basement where mice ate our food. And you know who's going to read that? Every single person that still works in the basement and has mice eating their food. And then they're going to look at my post and they're go, oh man, it would be great to just like work in your own clean house. And immediately the connection is made. But if you don't share that, if you don't share the before, no one can envision themselves in the after. Okay, so it's always your story. So it can be weight loss, anything that you're doing. Reflect back to your life pre-Beachbody and how you would do it, how it was different, and talk about that. That is how you connect with your audience, with your people, with everyone that you want to recruit and bring into your business, right? So for me personally, what I did was I made a list. I made a list about everything I didn't like about how I earned income before Beachbody, okay? I didn't like having to get up at like dark 30 and it took 3 hours before I was finally at work. I didn't like having to commute an hour to and from every day. I didn't like a boss telling me that I couldn't go to my kid's Halloween parade, all right? I didn't like those things, so I talk about them. So whenever I don't have to commute or I just walk into my office in the morning, that's what I post about. I'm like, hey, I remember when I used to sit in traffic on the highway for an hour, sometimes 2, 3, God forbid, if there was snow or ice, and now all I have to do is walk downstairs and boom, I'm in my office in my yoga pants drinking coffee. Done. Everyone who's sitting in traffic or who sat in traffic that morning then sees another future reality for themselves. They're like, oh yeah, I relate. I was sitting in traffic this morning. Oh man, it would be nice to just walk downstairs. How could could I do that? That's how you start to reach people. So everything that you can do, this is another thing. Everything that you can do now that you couldn't prior to Beachbody, talk about that too. So now, since I'm a full-time coach, I can do things like do my laundry in the middle of the day. So whenever I do the laundry in the middle of the day, I snap a selfie and I'm like, this is so nice to be able to I remember, a year ago that I had to do laundry on the weekend on my family time, and I had to take away from my family time because that's the only time I had to do life admin because the rest of my Monday and Friday was eaten up with commute, my 9 to 5, and then panicking and hurrying through the rest of my life to get everybody fed, showered, and in bed and repeat for 5 days. But now I work from home, I make my own hours, and P.S. this is what I do on my 10-minute breaks. I throw in my laundry and regain my Saturdays. See what I mean? Even if it's things as simple as I can go to the post office in the middle of the day now. Now, if you haven't, I know not everybody's a full-time coach and you don't have those things, there are things that you do now that you didn't do prior to Beachbody because you do earn an income. You have earned an income. If it's something as simple as I paid for my kids' new spring wardrobe, thanks Beachbody, that is something to celebrate and post about. Because there's someone out there who can't right now afford the entire wardrobe that they want to afford for their child. And that shows them there's a way, there's an opportunity out there for me to do something so I can fulfill that need. And she understands because she was there before. So every little opportunity, every little cent, every single cent you earn is something to be celebrated and shared. You have to share it with people. That is how people start to be attracted to the coaching opportunity. They see how their life can change for the better, right? So you can talk about the friends that you've met. Before I was lonely and now I have, a group of coaches that I work with every single day. We talk every day so that we can try and help each other reach goals and help other people reach their own health and fitness goals. I remember what my life was like without them. I was lost. I didn't even know who I was anymore. All I was, an employee and a wife and a mom, and I completely forgot about myself. Posting that and that vulnerability post brought a few of you who are in here right now into the team because they read it and they related. But you have to show the before. You have to always tell the story, even if it comes down to what you're eating that day. Like, I remember if I was on the run, I would grab, a handful of Oreos and try and shove them in my mouth real quick as I took the kids to swimming lessons. Now I just grab a Shakeology. And it's good for me, and I get all of my superfoods and vitamins, and I feel good, and I don't have a sugar crash, right? That's what you need to share to people to bring them into the opportunity. They can't go there if you don't, okay? And I know that we think sometimes like, oh, well, should I like not talk about money, or what if I offend somebody? Listen, for every one person that you might offend, you have inspired 100 more. So go with the majority, okay? All of the people who have been inspired, all of those like 100 people that could completely change their life, think of them. That's where your mind should be. Who's the outlier, right? The one person that like might have got offended because you were trying to give them an opportunity to get healthy, happy, and provide financial freedom, for their family. Like, that's insane. Like, that's like winning the lottery, okay? Like, that's what we equate that to, right? Like, if everything was taken care of, like, here's the opportunity for everything to be taken care of. So why wouldn't I share that with someone? Just like, why wouldn't you share the opportunity to purchase a lottery ticket so that you could have it, right? Like, it's insane. Talk about it. Talk about it all the time, no matter how great your successes have been. Listen, most people don't relate to the crazy, crazy success, okay? Because they can't even envision themselves being there. They can't even see that happening. The small little things. I filled up my gas tank because I helped somebody this month get started on with their health and fitness. That's what people can relate to. They're like, oh man, I know at least one person that could use that, right? That could get help, and that would fill up like my gas tank. That is so easily relatable, right? It's like when the speed limit is 25 when it should be like 60. You don't even try, right? Because you're like, that's just impossible. But if it's 30, you're like, maybe I could, or if it's 55, you're like, maybe I could slow down 5 miles an hour to be at the speed limit, right? But if it's like 30 miles an hour difference, you're like, not even possible. Don't even know why that sign's up. Must not be any cops here, right? So make sure that you're sharing everything, and don't think that you have to have like crazy super success or be like in like the top coach or something to share, because they all started somewhere, and all of them, started talking about the small accomplishments that they made, and all of the people that they helped to move on and then become what they have become, okay? And talk about objections publicly. All right, so we all know those, right? Like, there's not enough time, there's not enough money, yada, 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 right? Talk about that stuff. Like, I didn't think I would have time, to work out, but I found out that if I just wake up 30 minutes earlier, then I can do it. Or if I push pause, a few times, I can get it done while my kids are having like their individual playtime. The more you do that, the more you talk about things like that, just like the more you talk about the coaching opportunity, being able to work anywhere that there is Wi-Fi, right? Because people are like, I don't have enough time to pick up another job. Post a picture of, yourself out, like getting your hair done, and you're like, all I needed was Wi-Fi, and I'm working my business right here. It's the in-between times. There is enough time. It's the little times that slips through the cracks that you don't think you can be doing that you can be. And then that objection goes away for people. They're like, oh, right, I don't have to like report to an office and actually sit in a desk for 8 hours. That's what people think work is, because that's like what the majority of the American population does. They clock in, they sit down at a desk, and then they clock out. And they do that for like 35, 40 years. It doesn't have to be that way, okay? We can work anywhere in the world that has a Wi-Fi signal. From our phones, if, we're on a balcony on like vacation, 30,000 feet in the air, people work on airplanes. There's Wi-Fi in airplanes, guys. That's incredible. Like, yeah, I'm at work. as I'm flying across the United States, right? Like, this is how easy it is for it to actually fit into your lifestyle, Why find a dream? That's all you need. If you start posting about those things, so like create a list. Every objection that you had about being a coach before you started coaching, and then post the counter argument. I thought I wouldn't have enough time to do this, but I found out that really all I need is Wi-Fi signal. So here I am getting my hair did, and I'm talking to everybody. I'm working on my business. And then the objection goes away, right? You're answering it publicly before people even have to get to message you. So that way they come to you and they're like, I'm ready to go. You've answered all of my questions already. And that is how you attract people. You create that lifestyle, the happiness that you have within your heart. You share that with the world on your page, right? So that's why you always see us with like huge smiles on our faces and like, crazy selfies and stuff like that, because that's the happiness. People want happiness, right? If you posted a selfie like this, who wants to go be around that person? Do you? I don't. I want to go to the person who's like, because they look like they're having fun, right? Like, so show everyone where and how you have fun with this, okay? That's what attracts people. And in the end, people just want love and happiness. So show that to them, because we're in such a special world where that actually exists. That's our day-to-day. Every single day, we really are laughing and smiling. So you need to show that. So when you're posting and you're putting those selfies up, no ho-hums. Like, no, happy. That's what people want to see. That's who they want to be around. That's who I want to be around, right? Like the people who fill your cup, who fuel you, who inspire you to dream bigger, who know that within you there's a light, right, that you can unlock and unleash on the world. So be that light. Be that light, because that's what's going to draw people in to you so that you can help them, okay? So that's a little bit about how to post about the coaching opportunity, and I'm going to drop a couple of photos in the group so that you can see some examples of what I think are some fantastic posts, okay? And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. All right, ladies, love you.